Hello, everybody. Welcome into today's podcast episode of Real and Raw, all from the top, dog. And today, I've came here to talk about a special part of my life because we all love video games, right? Who doesn't? I love me a video games. And I play the Mario and I get the mushroom with the superstar. Woohoo! You know what I mean? And I bet many feel the same about many video games that bring them enjoyment and messages in life for everything. And one of my favorite games throughout me living here and being a part of this world has been Yokai Watch. If you've never heard of Yokai Watch, it's based off the Japanese mythology called yokai, which are spirits that live among us. And in this game called Yokai Watch, the gameplay is kind of like Pokemon. That's the best way to explain it. You give these yokai the food, and if they like that specific food, they'll give you a heart, and the more money is the more better of the food that you can buy. And that's the point of the game. You give them the best food, you hope you befriend them, and then you level them up, and you fight bosses and befriend more yokai, and it's a really good game. And what this game is about, the most important detail of it, is the boy that can see spirits. That's what the anime was all betraying about. And anybody that's watched the Yokai Watch anime, you already know how that is. I've watched the first movie too, and man, there's some good messages through them. And it's honestly a really good show too. But to get more deep into the game, I want to give 3 messages from each game, showing an example, just like in the first one, showing the intro scene of it right here on the screen, where the boy that can see spirits. And I remember playing this game when I was 8. So I'm 19 right now. That would be 11 years ago. So 2015, when this game came out in America, I remember playing Yokai Watch on my 2DS. And this game has been on the 3DS for a while. And it actually got a Switch port in Japanese. And I played it all the way through. I'd done the whole game again. And I learned a lot from it that way. Replaying the game that taught me for what I've seen in my life. And to explain that for the right, myself and what I've seen, there's always been these blue dots that have followed me. And I've never been able to explain it, but now that I know what it means, it's called haloing. And people with autism can have this effect where eyes and vision are a little bit deceiving. So when my eyes possibly roll back in the back of my head, I'm seeing something completely different instead. And that's the best way to explain it to everybody. There's these blue dots in my entire life that have been following me. And I never knew who they were until I found out. It's my ancestors, bruh. Just like in the Final Fight video I showed y'all. That's all life comes down to, is putting God as your savior, as number one, and your ancestors will follow you as you are his son. And we're all his sons, all his daughters, in every way. We just gotta find it in our own way to want to be connected to him in his way, his perfect will for everything we can say. And many of us to this day are growing here on the earth. And as I journey more and become a living testimony here on earth, I just want to bring people closer to it and show people the real and raw for everything. Comes with health, it comes with mentally, and it comes with spiritually. And as I get into the second game for Yokai Watch, they did Yokai Watch 2 Bony, it was like Bony something, Bony, I don't know. I'll just put it on the screen. Bony and Fleshy, I think Fleshy Souls. And then they had Yokai Watch 2 Psychic Specters. And from what I learned from that game, in particularly, is that as you go through the story of this game and you truly understand it in every way, there's doubts in the grandfather of the past, because in the story, the boy that sees the spirits goes back 60 years ago when the original Yokai Watch was made, the Zero Watch, his grandfather made. And with this original watch, there was this little circle of this orb, and he would use it in the watch to be able to see the spirits. And as he was explaining, as you get deep in the story, and he explains his backstory to his own grandson, which is in the future, 60 years, he tells him that I once had a friend that I abandoned, and that I can't look at myself the same for anything. And I think about that deep in my life as I put these clips up here for y'all to see. And it's super amusing. Like the music in these Yokai Watch games, the vibes in these games, the animation for the cutscenes, especially in Yokai Watch 2 Psychic Specters, they start getting pretty detailed. It's so beautiful how they made a story with God. How they are trying to bring people closer to everything. And point some key simple facts about reality. And we do that sometimes. We straight up abandon people and we don't think about their well-being of them. And whether it's for the worse or it's for the best, and however way it happens of it, it happens. And we feel these feelings deep in us, and it's something we truly can't escape from. We have to run away from. We have to come to the Lord. We have to ask Him for guidance. Teach me, Father, your way, your perfect will. And that's what I do every day. I pray and I ask Him that so He can guide me and teach me with His grace and mercy every day. And as I get into this last game of Yokai Watch 3, and to be fair, there are 4 Yokai Watches, and then there's a bunch of spin-offs with blasters and then mobile apps, and I don't really want to get too deep into that. I want to just get into the 3 main English games. Because I played the 4th one a little bit, I'll be honest, and it's complete Japanese. I've never played the game. I don't really care too much about the gameplay style. It's more 3D rather than a 2D type of experience. But in Yokai Watch 3, it does get a little bit more interesting because they keep the same type of battlefield vibe, but they put it on a grid. So here's the regular Yokai Watch gameplay from Yokai Watch 1 and Yokai Watch 2 with Psychic Specters. And then you got Yokai Watch 3. You can see it's a bit different. It's got a grid system, 3x3, and you can move your yokai according to how much movement they have on the board per yokai, whatever they have for it. And what's interesting about this new system is that it has defensive lines, it has offensive lines. It's basically when 2 or 3 yokai are connected with each other. If it's like this, then it is an offense. If it's like this, it's defense. So I find it interesting how they wanted to change the whole game style of it, but kind of keep the same atmosphere to it, which honestly helps it, in my opinion. Other people might feel different about it, but it kind of spices it up a little bit, makes it different. And that's the whole point of a game. If you're gonna make a game, you gotta make it different. You have your first game, right? And you clearly have some new things you added to it. But then you have your second game. What do you do new to it? What can you bring more players to guide them and to show them the truths you want to speak in it? The messages. And that's what the Lord has for you. You got to better and better every project you make somehow in some way so you can see the progress that you made. And then when you see it, you're like, wow, the Lord just helped me do that. And we don't even think of it like that. Most of people probably don't. I for sure didn't. I remember lots of times. But I remember making all these maps throughout my human history was to make it for y'all, to see what can I do better with y'all. What can I make that's beyond myself that people like in every way. And for this last message that I say in Yokai Watch 3, I'm going to put it up here on the screen. And it basically talks about dreams. And in this mission that you have to go to, the boy, which there's two protagonists in this game. There's Nate, the boy, that can see the spirits, and then there's Haley, which also can see the spirits, the yokai. And Nate goes into the dream wheel, and he gets turned into a yokai in an alternate timeline where the girl from the first and the second game, right? You can choose her as your protagonist instead, because there's only one in the first and second. But in the third, they did Nate and then Haley. So in this game, there's this mission where you turn into the yokai, and then you got to follow her around. And then when the Nate realizes this isn't right, he doesn't feel right around it, Whisper, the ghost yokai from the first game that met Nate that very day, he tells him about dreams and that they're complete altered perceptions of reality. And it goes pretty deep on how they speak about it and everything. And I just find it so interesting. And the only way I can truly say it right here for what I know of it is putting this video up on the screen for you. Because the moment I actually played it, and I beat the game as I left these couple months, I was playing Yokai Watch 3 a lot, getting deep into it and learning more about it. It taught me that. And just knowing that, everything I've been trying to learn, it really got to me deep. I was like, wow, these games are something else completely, man. And I love it. They give me so many messages all around the world. And God has amazing deeds for helping us all around the world. And it's amazing. I'm blessed to be able to come back and have my family and my mods help me with this project I'm gonna make. And for the ones that seen the final fight, you already know it for the right. Reboot Royale, fight for freedom. And that's what my next chapter is in my life. I'm fighting for freedom. I am making my living days as my living testimony to do the right for everything. And that simply is just letting go. Let go of everything and all desires of the world, bro. Everything. Let it out. Because honestly, the only thing you can take in this life are the memories. That's it. When you leave, whether you go to sleep, whether you're just being born, or whether you die peacefully, that's all you bring back are those memories. So when you dream, that's all you're bringing there. Everything you experienced that day, everything you've experienced in your life in any way, that's what you're bringing to the table. So what do you want to do the very next day? Because every day we get a chance to live, but we only get one chance to die. So, what will it be? Because you got to choose for life. You could do anything you want. Anything here on this earth. And the crazy thing is, none of it will matter. Only the righteous things will. God is just like us. God feels emotions like us. So he is the same as mankind, woman or man. So what can you do instead to better yourself? Right here, this moment as I'm speaking to you, what can you do? No matter how old you are, no matter where you came from, no matter what you've been through. Anything, my dude. What can you do better in this world with the purpose so you can see your destiny and just create it on this world? What do you want to do? You can do anything you want. But ask yourself one thing. Am I truly happy? Not here, not your heart, not your mind, your spirit. Is your spirit happy? Your spirit is connected to your soul. So your soul is truly what feels everything. And if that's not happy, if that truly is not happy in you, what you got to do, you got to come to God about it. You got to ask all the way through. You got to pray. Get on your knees. And what I do every day in the morning after I read one chapter, I get on my knees and I look straight onto my bed. I meditate and I give the deepest thoughts I can instead. And I pray for all of my family. I pray for all of you around the world. And I pray for our ancestors that are beyond this world, that God's got us all the way through for everything, all do. And I appreciate everybody that's watching these podcasts and giving me messages and comments about the captions and the vibes of the videos. And if there's anything else I could do to make it better that you guys would like, I would love to. Because this channel has meant a lot to me. I'll be honest. I had God all around me and my ancestors my entire life. 19 years. That's how deep it goes. And when you reach 19, in the Bible, it says, when reached 19, a man starts to seek nothing but God for everything. And that's what I feel. As we experience these seasons of the earth, winter, the dying season, spring, the come up, summer, the peak, fall, the come down, and winter, death. this is life. And this is how it works for the right. As we feel all these changes on the earth every season, that's how it feels. And when I started getting deep into the Lord this winter, going into the spring, I felt something deep in me. Like myself was gonna change. I didn't know how it was gonna happen, but I knew it was gonna happen some way. And that's why I just got closer and closer to God. I kept praying, I kept reading, I kept having hope no matter what every day. And He has answered my prayers. He has freed me from all of my sins and inequities. And He is a lovely God, but one to be feared too. Remember, He has feelings just like a human does too. When God is angry, He is angry. When God is happy, He's happy. When God is sad, He's sad. All these feelings. He's just like mankind, but He's nowhere close to it. He is the holiest of holy lights. Beyond so human comprehension, in Moses speaking of seeing God directly, he says, it is such a holy light nobody is ever allowed to see. And it's scary. So that's why you should have fear for God. But when I say to fear for Him, I mean to be righteous for Him in every way. Because He is just like a human too. He is not a human. But there are many angels that have came like human, like the 7 churches in Revelations, or even Jesus. They're all human. Moses, Aaron. There's so many people in the Bible that are human. And it's awesome, dog. It's amazing. And we're all amazing people here on this earth. We're all made by God, all in our own ways of it. And to end this podcast episode and to give it real and raw with you, I just want to hear an opinion on if you did watch the final fight and you saw the music video in it. What'd you guys like about it? Or if there's anything I can change with it, let me know. I want to start making more songs with everybody, bruh. And starting probably before I go on vacation. I'm going on vacation in about 3 weeks. I'm going to try to do a Mario Galaxy video and a Mario Party video. I think that'd be really cool to try. I haven't done it, so I'm going to try to get some things ready and try to get everybody prepared for what my next chapter is going to be when I'm ready. And I'm just simply preparing myself. I'm fixing my sleep schedule, I'm fixing myself, and I'm getting deep into my health. I'm looking at it at every angle, y'all. I'm doing this all for you because I built my channel having God and my ancestors surround me, but I really didn't know what to do. I didn't know nothing. I didn't understand my body, my disabilities, or who I was. But now I do. And now I can proudly say I'm free from everything. And it's a blessing. And I want to show you guys how to do it too. And that end of the final fight, that end part of the journey with Jonesy, seeing his ancestors, that's what I had to learn throughout them months that I left y'all. I did it. I made it. And now I'm here, righteous all the way around it. So, next podcast episode, I'm going to talk more about Reboot Royale, Fight for Freedom, and I'm going to get deep into it. So, I can't wait to see y'all then. Have a good one.